in right after. 1 minute. Yes,
So,
Abhijit Iyer Mitra, how do you look upon this? There are two versions. You've heard most of the other speakers. Yes, go ahead.
Look, I'm not going to get into the macro because this gets into a two-fro. You did this, you did that. Of course, nobody actually punishes the people who call for death penalties on people or fatwas on people, etc., etc. So, it's creating both sides. One side keeps issuing the fatwas, death fatwas. The other side refuses to act on the people who issue these fatwas. And so they're both equally responsible for creating the toxic situation around. I only want to speak to the specifics of this particular situation. This was first put up on Twitter with a deliberate intent to stir up communal riots. The very fact that the person who got the video, knew that it was without the audio, runs a so-called fact-checking agency, should have known better than to simply put it up there without ascertaining what the audio in all of this was. He did not. Now, a normal person doing it is fine, but this person allegedly runs some kind of alleged fact-checking agency. Number one. Number two, even when the police and everyone have come out and clarified the fact that this was a mixed mob that attacked the poor old man, Twitter has still not labeled it misleading content and taken down all the posts, which they're very quick to do under normal circumstances. All right. Now, remember, this was the same Twitter that was encouraging the riots of 2020 when Trump was here, actively promoting and giving blue ticks to people that were encouraging the riots. These are all the same people, the same Twitter that was encouraging riots on January 26th in Delhi. And mind you, this is the same Twitter where this alleged fact-checking agency has a tie-in. Number three, the fact-checking agency in question has been evicted or left the International Fact Checkers Network, because one of the key principles of the International Fact Checkers Network is non-partisanship. Now, either they got kicked out or they've left it, but the point is it is a non-certified fact-checking agency now, which in spite of Twitter's own charter, they are continuing a collaboration with them. Fourth, it was worded in a perfect way, which any fact checker should have been able to check, that the allegation of I was made to say Jai Shri Ram was not said at the same time that the beard cutting is depicted. What is depicted during the beard cutting is beard cutting and him being slapped. And then he makes a statement in the presence of a mullah or Maulvi or something else like that, saying that he was made to say Jai Shri Ram. All right. All of this should have triggered some kind of alarm bells in everyone involved in the chain of events. So I see this as an ongoing project, deliberate project by this fact-checking agency, by the individual in question who incidentally has a POSCO charge against him, a prevention of child abuse charge against him, as well as Twitter to inflame the situation and take it down a very, very, very dangerous path. Now, it's a pity that people are playing politics with this, because technically this neither involves the BJP nor does it involve the SP or things. It involves some two-bit, third-rate marginal players on Twitter who aren't even. So I really don't know why Mr. Asaduddin Owaisi saw it fit to get involved in this, or why anyone else sought to get involved in this. But this is the joke that happens in this country in the name of law and order. Mind you, none of the people in this, the fellow pushing the fake news, the fellow tweeting communally inflammation tweets will ever be punished. So there will be absolutely no stick. It will act as an encouragement for this to be repeated over and over and over again till somebody goes and burns a train.
Okay, well, let me tell you, FIRs have been filed by the Yogi government against Twitter, which is a departure, very, very unprecedented departure from the norm. Remember, Twitter till now had basically been indemnified against any action for carrying material on its platform. Viewers, till now, but we are being told on good authority that an FIR has been filed against Twitter and also 8 other individuals. Abhijit Iyer Mitra has referred to some individuals. He has not named them, and that is well and good, because those individuals are not here to represent themselves. So I am not going to add any point in time here goad him into naming anybody, because we don't want to get into that. But I want to come down also part of this debate. Yes, Shahzad Poonawalla, go ahead.
Rahul, first of all, we all condemn the beating of this 72-year-old. It's an act of criminality. But can an act of criminality be converted into an act of communality? And this is the real problem. Why inject Jai Shri Ram? Why bring in the siyasat of communalism to make it a Hindu-Muslim issue when none exists? Now, let me give you certain examples. This is not the first time, Rahul, and I've got news reports. Please don't interrupt. Tell the viewers not to, these panelists not to interrupt me. You remember the church attack case? Here is Rupa Subramaniam, no friend of the BJP or Modi government. She comes out and she puts out details it as to how the entire church attack narrative came to be false. Now I'll show you another incident. Chandoli. It was again said there was a communal spin in it. It turned out that there was no communal spin in it. Then in Gurugram, the claim was made that a Muslim man's topi was thrown. When they saw the CCTV footage, it was not true. Then I'll show you another incident of Kanpur. Here is the Kanpur, and these are all news reports. कानपुर के अंदर जय श्री राम के बोलने पर पीटने की कहानी गुरुग्राम की तरह झूठी साबित हुई. News 18 India. This is their report. There are several instances, at least 17 odd instances, where these people have alleged that Jai Shri Ram or communal angle was the reason, and then it turned out to be only a law and order issue. Should it be a law and order issue? Absolutely not. But why are they injecting the angle of Jai Shri Ram? Now let's take this case. The incident takes place on 5th of June. Till 7th of June, no angle is brought up about Jai Shri Ram. Then on 7th of June, 8 p.m., the FIR is filed. The FIR has the names of Muslims and Hindus, but the lobby puts out a muted video where you can't hear whether Jai Shri Ram was the reason or not, and they only push or peddle one name, that is of Parvesh Gujjar. Why haven't they highlighted all the tweets that have been put out by this ecosystem? Only highlight the name of one Hindu person beating up this Muslim person, whereas they knew that Adil and Arif were also involved. Why was this selective cherry picking done? And this is the toolkit on which they operate. Whenever elections are close, they make it a Hindu-Muslim issue for vote bank politics. Then they do award wapsi. It has happened in 2015. It happened in 2016. The Junaid case of Vallabhgarh. You remember that entire case? It was a dispute over a seat which was given a Hindu-Muslim angle. And when the same killings take place in Rajasthan, when Dalits are lynched, no word is said. This is their double standards.